Well, hello there. Welcome back to She Shines. This is the podcast where women rise, reclaim, and radiate. This episode is about identity. We're going to be talking about identity. We're also going to be talking about visibility. And we are also going to talk about becoming, that's one of my words, unforgettable. Not because of what you wear, but because of who you choose to be. My guest today is a visibility and style coach. She also is a podcaster, and she is a former boutique owner. And she's on a mission to help women go from invisible to unforgettable. So, we want to give a great big welcome to our guest, Michele Nidiffer. Hello, Michele.
Hello, Karen. So good to see you today.
It is good to see you. Welcome to She Shines with Coach KG. And I already mentioned a little bit about what you do, but I'd like you to tell our audience, who is Michele?
That's a loaded question. Well, I am a master style coach. I have been in the style industry for a very long time, for actually almost 40 years, I figured out. But I've been a style coach for almost 20 of those years.
Wow.
And I started as a clothing designer. I've always had a passion for fashion, for style. I've had such an evolution. I've gone from beauty and style blogger to boutique owner to style coach to boutique owner again to style coach, which is where I have landed. So that in a nutshell. I'm remarried. So we have a blended family, and I'm all about empowering women and loving life.
Yes. And doesn't she just radiate? She is absolutely stunning.
Oh,
And I can see the style, not because of what you're wearing, because I see the inner beauty of you,
mm,
Michele, come out.
thank you.
So I'm glad to have you here with us. Let's begin with something you said that immediately caught my attention when we chatted. You said the privilege of life is being who you are. So
Yes.
tell us what those
Yeah.
words mean to you today.
Oh my goodness. It actually comes from a quote from Joseph Campbell. And it's a quote that has come up for me in several different phases of my life.
Mhm.
And I am someone who has always, I've always been on a journey to find out who I am. Who am I? And I think that's what has led me to being a style coach, to helping other women find who they are.
Mhm.
But I remember when I first heard those words, they kind of just went over my head. Not a big deal. And then I heard them again. I was like, "Oh, that that's kind of cool." And then I remember, I don't know if you call it an existential crisis, but I was going through a moment of, who am I? What am I doing? And I was talking with a friend of mine who's a coach, and she read those words to me. She reminded me of those words, and I just broke down. I just broke down. And I
Mm.
think I realized why those words hit me at such a deep level, because I rejected who I was for so many years.
Oh, I
And
can
I
relate.
felt that it wasn't okay. I felt that it wasn't okay to be myself, that it wasn't okay to be me. I felt that there were pieces and parts of myself, both physically and emotionally, that it wasn't okay to be seen, that it
Wow.
wasn't okay to show. And so when I opened my clothing boutique in 2015, I wanted those words on the wall. I wanted everybody to see those words.
Ooh.
We had vinyl lettering on the wall, and it's a quote that has stuck with me because it's like peeling back the layers. You hear what you
Mm.
need wherever you are in your journey.
Mhm. Definitely. Oh, and I call it word art.
Mm,
So all around, um, my apartment here, I have, word art, and it's
mm,
just the words, like, I have believe and, family is everything, and so I'm a big fan of
mm,
word art. Alright, Michelle, now you became and I didn't tell our audience our title, and it's, um, the person's name, the guest, but the segment is She Shines, She Sees, She Styles, She Shines.
mm.
So we're gonna take each one of those and chat with Michelle about that. Alright, so you were a blogger,
Mhm.
and did you know then this would eventually be the start of a calling?
I had no idea. I had well, I remember when I was about 5 or 6 years old, my mom sewed, so she had to have these big bags of fabric scraps laying around,
Uh-huh.
and I would get in them, and of course, I'd started sewing too, wanted to be mo like my mom, and I
Yeah.
remember making clothes for my Barbies,
Wow.
and I mean, it's one of those moments that just stuck with me, but it was just this divine knowing, "You're gonna be a designer."
Mm.
Like, okay, not sure where that came from, never really thought about it. I mean, I was like 6 years old, didn't really know anything about fashion. I'm like, "All right, I'm gonna be a clothing designer. That's my path." And so I continued for years. I actually went to UNC Greensboro. I have a degree in essentially it's fashion design and apparel arts is what it was called.
Okay.
And it just put me on that path. I thought, "Well, this is what I'm supposed to do." And so it unfolded and I was a clothing designer for a little while, had my own line, did my thing, and it
Wow.
just was an evolution. It was like I was kept being pulled forward.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I I started having kids. I had my first child when I was 35, which that was a very pivotal moment in my life. And once I had her, I had my second child 3 years later, and
Uh-huh.
I remembered completely losing my style.
Mm.
You're postpartum, your body is after 2 kids, you don't recognize your body. I'm like, "I'm busy. When do I have time to know what's in style anymore?" And I had been somebody who had always kept up with fashion and style,
Mhm.
and while I wasn't necessarily trendy, I always knew what was in style and felt good
Right.
about style. But after that, I started feeling just like, "Ooh, like other moms must have this too." And so I looked around for beauty and style resources and couldn't find any. So I started a beauty and style blog. And I did that for a little while and wrote about color and how to get dressed and ended up doing a lot of product reviews and things that weren't related to style. And I was like, this is not really what I want to do.
Mm.
And I remember one day sitting down and mind mapping. One thing, like,
One of the
okay,
things I do.
like there's more. I feel like there's something else I should be doing. And I remember writing down image consulting. First thought, not doing that, not doing that. And I didn't think anything else about it until literally the next day, a neighbor called and said, "Hey, will you come over and help me clean out my closet?" I'm like, sure. Okay. Kind of random. Like I've never really done that for anybody else. Do it for myself all the time.
Right.
And then literally 2 days later, a friend called and said, "Hey, will you take me shopping? Like, I need some clothes and I don't really know what to get." And then it hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, "Okay, I get the message.
Mhm.
Th This is more than just a job. Like, this is my purpose.
Mhm.
This is why I'm here." And I felt it, Karen, at such a deep level. Like, this is this is it. Like, this is my authenticity. Like, this is my mission in the world. And it
Mm.
just put me on a path. So I committed. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I just went. And yeah, this was before we had ChatGPT and before Google and before, all the
Right,
things.
right, right.
So this was back in 2008. I don't remember. Did we have Google? I don't think we did, but I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Anyway, the forefront of the widely available World Wide Web that we have.
Yes.
And I started looking around at resources. I read every book I could get my hands on. I was getting Amazon was at my house like every day. I was getting all these books on style and color and everything that I could learn. I took classes. I became certified in color analysis.
Wow.
I called people. I was just like, okay, I just became a voracious learner. And I learned everything that I could. And in 2008, I opened my business and this is a year of a down economy. My
Mhm.
then husband had lost his job. Here I am launching my job after being a stay-at-home mom for a while.
Wow.
And it was a pivotal time in my life, but
Mhm.
what happened was crazy. I had a couple of articles published about me. I had women flying into work with me. I had people calling me to speak. I was like, what is even happening right now? It was just like the floodgates just opened and I'm like, "Okay, like, this is where I'm meant to be," and I just
Mhm.
rolled with it. I
Mhm.
learned about how to start speaking in public. I took myself to a Toastmasters at 7:30 on a Monday morning with even though I had 2 small kids, and
Wow.
I just made it happen, and I decided, "Okay, I'm gonna work with 3 women. I'm gonna get testimonials from them, and then I'm gonna launch my business." So I did that, and then things just took off. I was doing workshops in my living room. It was crazy, and I didn't there weren't a whole lot of other people around at that time doing what I was doing.
Mm.
So it was an interesting time, but it
So you
just
were a pioneer.
sort of, sort of. I mean, don't get me wrong, there had been plenty of other image consultants. There weren't that many other women in my area. It's not like I had ever really known anybody who had been an image consultant,
Mhm.
and I realized I don't really resonate with the term image consultant. So, after a while, I started to call myself a
I like that.
style coach, and it just was an evolution. It just was an
Mhm.
evolution, but every step of the way, I was learning. And what happened over the years was that women kept coming to me saying, "I don't have a style. I've lost my style, or it's all over the map,
Mhm.
or I just never knew what it was." And here I am thinking, first of all, 2 things. 1, everybody knows what their style is. And 2, everybody loves to shop as much as I do. That is not the case.
No.
That is not the case. But women kept coming to me saying, "I don't have a style." I'm like, "Oh my god, what do you mean you don't?" Of course, everybody has a style. My belief is that everybody does have a style, but I
Mhm.
know now that we become disconnected from ourselves, and so we don't know what it is. So
Right.
I started doing my research, doing my due diligence. And then in 2010, I actually created a whole assessment. It's kinda like DISC for style.
Okay.
It's a
Okay.
whole system I use with my clients called our Style Finder ID system.
Mm.
And it tells you your primary word, your secondary word, and your supporting word. In fact, I just got off an interview. I was talking with someone who had taken it, and she's like, "Oh my god, it was spot on. It really helped me to understand what my style is." Because
Hmm.
I believe that our styles are multifaceted. Some days you feel more one way, and other days you might feel more like something else.
Mhm.
But a lot of women can misinterpret that to think, "Well, I'm just all over the place. I don't even know what to buy." And I'm like, "No, no, no. It's like parentheses. Like my style, I'm dramatic, romantic, and classic." And so when I
Oh, yeah.
know my arena to play in, it's not staying the same all the time, but it's not being wildly different. It's not wildly fluctuating.
Okay.
And
Gotcha.
so what I like to do is help my clients cultivate a signature style that brings all of these energies in, but that kind of toggles between them, kind of gives them all their moment in the spotlight.
Wow. Wow. And look how you have evolved from a blogger to a boutique owner to style coach, and you're even a podcaster. That's quite a journey, Michelle.
It's it's interesting when I sit down and reflect on it, and if somebody really wants to hear, like, the long version, I'm like, "Okay, how long do you have?" But at the same time, it feels like I mean, I don't it's not that I don't ever think about it, but it's just
Mhm,
that it all has seemed so natural. It's never felt forced. It's just like, ooh, one thing has kind of flowed into the next, into the next, into the
mhm.
next. I'm like, of course I'm gonna do this. It's the logical next step. And
I'm
so when
curious,
yeah.
uh, because with this evolvement going from one to another,
Mhm.
in that, was there ever a season of disappointment or
Mm.
failure?
Gosh, there have been quite a few along the way. I mean, I don't think any entrepreneur ever has a straight line and just
Mm,
knocks it out of the park every single time. Like, that's part of the journey.
right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I think doing what I'm doing and the way it's interesting because the way I look at things, how you do anything is how you do everything. And I'm dramatic.
Mm.
Dramatics can be the rebel. We can be the maverick, the pioneer, like that's how I'm wired. And so I think knowing that about myself, I've really leaned into that. And it's served me in a lot of ways, but it means that I'm also trying a lot of new things
Right.
and doing things in a different way
Yes.
than other people.
Absolutely.
And there have been times in my life where a few times in my life where I've started to doubt myself.
Mhm.
Should I
Oh,
just like
yeah.
if I would see somebody else that was killing it, well,
Uh-huh.
maybe I should change my method and do what she's doing. Excuse me. Maybe I should, instead of doing this, I should do this. So
Mhm.
there have been moments in my career where I'm like, I've started to kind of second guess myself.
Mhm. Yep. That happens.
And I think a lot of it happened. We opened our boutique in 2015. And I had been a style coach for 7 years at the time. And
Uh-huh.
I was like, I'll always be a style coach. But I kind of put coaching on the back burner, working with clients on the back burner to have, to open this boutique to get that up and running.
Mhm.
And every once in a while, I would feel this pull like, okay, I'm meant to be out there in a bigger way, speaking and working with clients. And it just was like this, I don't know, this power, this struggle almost.
Mhm.
And so I know over the years, it's ebbed and flowed. Owning a boutique for 10 years, I mean, it wasn't always all me all the time in the boutique. I mean, there were periods where I didn't spend much time in the boutique at all. And then during COVID, we had to pivot the whole thing.
Yeah.
So we went from a brick and mortar to going more online.
Mm.
And what that meant is that we had to turn on the camera and
Yes.
do like a home shopping network almost. And it was a whole different ballgame, but
Right.
it came with its own set of benefits
Mhm.
and also challenges.
Oh, yes. One of the things I think about, challenges can be disappointments.
Mm,
And instead of the perception of the word disappointment, because I feel like disappointments will just stop you, keep you stuck.
mhm.
I think of disappointment or challenges become direction.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
you move from one space, go into another direction.
Mhm.
Don't just stop. Keep going, but go in another. There are other directions. Let's put it
Mhm.
that way.
Absolutely, and I think the key is movement, is to not stay the
Absolutely.
same.
That's
And
right.
I feel that I've been caught up in that place of like, "Oh my gosh, like what step do I take?" And
Mhm.
I think what I've come to realize is that it's not so much about we get so caught up in taking the right step. "Oh my gosh, is this the right choice? Is this the
Come
right
on. Yeah.
decision?" But
Mhm.
it's not until we take a step that we can know.
Just take
And
a step.
not, then we just pivot.
That's right.
And I've taken a lot of wrong steps, but I have learned every step of the way.
That's it. That's it. Every step may not be the best step, but it is necessary for you to learn from it.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I wanna talk about the mirror moment.
Ugh. This was, I think, Karen, the whole reason I am a style coach.
Yes.
Or
She
what
shared
really
with me
led me to it.
yes, you shared with me that one of your powerful stories that you shared with me was about your dad encouraging you to lose weight.
Mhm.
Words can stay with us for years. So how did that experience shape the way you saw yourself?
Yeah. Well, I was about 10 years old, and
Mhm.
my dad I still am a highly sensitive person, but I was highly sensitive, and I was told yeah, I just was never felt like it was okay to express myself. I had big
Mm.
feelings, I had big
Mhm.
emotions,
I
and
can
I was
relate.
told, "Don't be too loud, don't be too much,"
Mhm.
all the things that we're told. And I didn't feel like it was okay to express my emotions as I felt them, and I started to eat. I turned to food to kinda numb out,
Mm.
to quiet the voices, quiet the emotions. Didn't really,
Yes.
but thought it did. But what happened was I started to put on some weight. My dad noticed, and he had always struggled with his weight. He came from a place of love, but he offered me $1 a pound to lose weight with the promise of a new wardrobe when I hit my goal. Well, here I loved fashion, I loved style, loved clothes.
Mhm.
Of course,
Mhm.
I wanted to hit the goal, so I did.
Yes.
So I lost the weight, but I not only lost the weight, I lost my confidence. I lost my
Mhm.
self-esteem, and
Mhm.
I gave away my power to the scale. And what
Mm.
happened after that, it really started like after that, probably mid T like 12, 13, 14.
Mhm.
I would start to weigh myself
Oh
every day,
my
and
goodness.
I would let that number determine, was I good or was I did I need to
Come
beat
on.
myself up a lot or just a little bit? Because I was gonna beat
Right.
myself up because I wasn't perfect. And I internalized the belief that I was unworthy, that I was less than. And I held on to that for so many years. And I
Mm,
think
mm,
back,
mm, mm.
do you remember Jane Fonda?
Oh,
The
yeah.
workout
Oh,
I had
yeah.
workout LPs, and I would do those in my bedroom. I remember doing hundreds of donkey kicks and all the things because I love to eat. And I'm like, "Ooh, I better go burn it off," or because what my dad would say is, "What you eat in private shows in public,"
Ooh.
and that stung. And around our household, it was just interesting because I mean, this was the time of toxic diet culture.
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember standing in the kitchen with my mom and my cousins and my aunts and my sister, and we're all talking about what diet we're on. I mean, this is in
Mhm.
my early teens. I'm on the Pritikin, I'm on the Atkins, I'm tried the Scarsdale. Have you tried the grapefruit diet yet?
Soup
My
diet.
grandmother, like all the women in our family from different generations
Uh-huh.
were in on this conversation.
Wow.
And it was just the norm.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was.
just the norm for women to be standing around talking about how are we going to fix ourselves or improve ourselves or lose weight or something. So that kind of set the stage for my continual self-criticism.
Mhm.
So I would get in front of the mirror every single day, starting at, early teens to when I was 35. And I would look at myself in my lingerie or in my clothes or whatever. And I would look and I would pick myself apart. Look at how
Mhm.
fat my thighs are. Look at this belly. Look at this. Look. It was like I was looking for what was wrong with me. I was looking for evidence that I wasn't worthy. And if there was an ounce of fat on my body, that was evidence enough
Wow.
that I wasn't good enough, that I wasn't as good as anybody else, that I wasn't attractive, that I wasn't beautiful, that I was less than. And so I did that to myself every day for probably 20 years.
Wow.
And as I got older, it wasn't quite as loud, but it was there. It was there. Those little voices, those tapes that play in your head
Mhm.
24/7. Oh, you
Mhm.
should be eating that. Oh, you sure you
Mm.
should have a second helping? Oh, maybe you should do some more exercise. Yeah, just that constant, like, berating myself, and who needs enemies when you got that little
Come
voice
on.
playing?
That's it.
But I remember when I was 35, I got pregnant with my first child, and I
Mhm.
gained 50 pounds. First time in my life I'd ever weighed over 200 pounds, and I was like, "Not sure what's happening." But for those 9 months, those voices, they kinda took a break. And Karen, do you know how much I like Girl Scout Thin Mints? Like, I would eat those things by the
Whoa.
sleeve. And so, yeah, I gained 50. I earned those 50 pounds.
So you are
I earned it. But it was like the voices in my head silenced. I was pregnant. I was
Mm.
happy. I was like, all right, let's eat. Let's just relish in this time. And I remember the day after I came home from the hospital, or the day after I came home from the hospital, standing in front of or getting ready to go take my first shower. And I felt myself bracing because I knew that these voices were ready to come back. And when you have the baby, those 50 pounds, like, they didn't just disappear.
Nope.
She weighed what, 9 pounds? So there was still quite a bit of weight.
Mhm.
My body was like, oh my gosh, my body was getting ready to be a battleground again.
Hmm.
And I remember bracing myself to stand in front of the mirror and, stand in front of the judge and the jury.
The
And in
judge.
that moment, it was like divine intervention. And
Mhm.
instead of criticizing myself, it was just this flood of gratitude,
Yes.
this flood of gratitude that, oh my gosh, I had birthed this beautiful, my body produced a human. Like, that's
Aw.
a miracle. Just this
Yes.
flood of gratitude that I had arms that I could take care of her, that I had
Oh.
arms that I could see her, and I was just, like, weeping. I was just sobbing at this point. I was like, "What have I been doing?" And I made a promise. I didn't know anything. Had no idea where this was gonna lead me, but I did know I didn't wanna, and I had a daughter, I didn't want her to grow up saying the same things to herself that I did.
Mhm.
I wanted to
Mhm.
give her a good role model.
Yes.
I wanted to instill good, positive beliefs about herself.
Yes.
I wanted to share with her, positive things.
Right.
So
Right.
I got up from that point. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just following guidance.
Mhm.
And I would wake up the next day and I would look in the mirror as I usually did, and I would start to go down that path. I'm like, no, no, no. Ooh, we're going over here today.
Yeah.
Would start to look for what's wrong with me. No, no, no. Let's look for what's right. Oh, my hair looks pretty good today. What's a color I could wear to play my hair up?
Mm.
Eyes look good today. What color could I wear to play my eyes up? Ooh, my smile looks good. Maybe I can wear some nice lipstick that shows off my smile or my legs or my shoulders or my whatever. And I just started going down the list,
Yes.
looking for evidence that maybe there's something to this. Maybe I'm not all wrong. And my confidence started to build. I would put on a shirt in something, my hair enhancer color, something that made my hair glow, and I would feel good. And then I'd
Mhm.
go out and look, and people would tell me, "Oh my gosh, you look amazing today. Your hair looks great." I'm like, huh, this was way before my stockings.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know what I was doing. I'm just making it up. I'm just having fun. I'm
Wow.
just following the breadcrumbs. And I started doing this, and this is when My my neighbor and my friend asked me, "Will you clean out my closet? Will you take me shopping?"
Mhm.
They saw me stepping into my own style,
Uh-huh.
and they had known me for style, for being a designer, but now they really saw me taking my style into my own hands.
Yes.
And so I feel like I've become my own best client.
Wow. Michelle, a couple of things came to mind. One, I have a saying, what you focus on magnifies.
Mm.
And so you focused on everything wrong with yourself. You
Mhm.
sat there and picked yourself apart negatively, and it magnified.
Yeah.
But once you had that shift of your focus and you looked for the good, sometimes it's harder to see the good because we live in a society that is very negative. So that shift helped you to magnify what you were grateful for and what you were appreciative for.
Yes.
That's a critical step for you. And then the other thing is I know because in my coaching practice, when I ask women what they don't like, they can rattle it off like it's part of their name.
Mhm.
But when I change it and say, okay, now tell me what you like. Oh, ooh. They have to really think about it.
Mhm.
And then I say, what you focus on
Yeah.
magnifies.
Yes.
Wow. Well, let's talk about taking your saying of invisible to unforgettable.
Yes.
That is a passion for you, for women. I
Yes.
absolutely love it. So, what does invisible really look like? Is it
Great
something we
question.
wear? Is it what we believe?
Well, let me tell you, my take on it has changed. When I heard the
Okay.
word invisible years ago, my take on it has taken on a new meaning as I've stepped into midlife.
Mhm.
What I've heard from clients for literally almost 20 years is the word frumpy. I feel frumpy.
Mm.
And I think that's the word that leads a lot of people to seek out a style coach, to want to have help with their style.
Uh-huh.
But what I've also learned is that frumpy is the outward representation of feeling invisible.
Wow.
Because after talking with clients and learning how they feel invisible in their lives. Now, I've started writing a book. My book's going to be out in early 2027. It's called French Women Don't Get Frumpy.
Mm.
And it's been really interesting to write and to talk to so many different women
Mhm.
about what that word means. And
Yes.
so there are a lot of different ways to express it, but typically frumpy means dowdy, not really connected to who you are. I think at the core, what frumpy means is that you are disconnected from yourself.
Mhm.
And what invisible means that you is the same thing. You're disconnected from yourself.
Mm.
But what and so I've found style is a tool.
Yes.
And it's interesting, the question that you asked earlier, I feel that there have been several points in my life where I've gotten fed up with style. I've always loved style.
Mhm.
And I'm like, why am I teaching style? Like, shouldn't I be teaching something more important? Style is just frivolous. Yeah, used to think style is just clothes. But I have come to know style
Mhm.
is so much deeper.
Yes.
And style, there have been multiple points in my life where I've tried to get away from it. I'm like, nope, this is my path. This is my tool. This is what I'm
Yes.
here for. But what I know to be true, we get dressed every morning, or most of us get dressed every single day.
Right. Right.
And when we take something that we do every day and that impacts us at such a deep level,
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you put on a great outfit, Karen, like,
Yes.
how you like your favorite pair of boots or your shoes or your favorite dress,
Right.
like, "Yeah, I got it going on." But how do you feel if you put on something that's not your best color, it's ill-fitting, maybe it's a little tight because you maybe put some weight around or weight on around your midsection.
Uh-huh.
How does that make you feel?
Mm.
Not very good. And
Mm-mm.
this is where when I talk to women, they're like, "Oh my gosh, I feel bad about myself." They shrink, they wanna make themselves smaller, they hide in black or gray or baggy
Oh,
clothes, or they try to squeeze themselves into those jeans that are just a little too tight because they don't feel that they're worthy of buying new jeans.
oh my goodness.
Because we've been trained that, "Oh, we need to get back to, oh, you used to be a size 6, you need to always be a size 6, you can't change."
Mm-mm-mm.
Even if you weigh the same, like, I weigh the same as I did last year, but I feel like my body has shifted in
Right,
menopause.
right,
Like,
right.
things move.
Yeah, they sure do.
And when we constantly are, fed all the messaging that we need to be thinner, we need to look younger, we need to be this, we need to be that. And then all of a sudden our bodies change, our hair starts to go gray. It's like this panic sets in.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, let me go color my hair. Let me go get Botox. Let me go get on Ozempic. Let me do all the things because we're so desperately trying to stay the same or get back to where we used to be.
Right.
Because women have, here's what I believe, and this might be a little controversial, but we have been taught to reject ourselves.
Come on. Come on.
And so I think the invisibility piece comes in because we aren't seeing ourselves. We don't want to see ourselves. We don't want to see that we've aged 20 years or we've gained 20 pounds.
Right, right.
And because we don't feel that it's safe,
Mm.
we don't feel that it's
Mm-mm-mm.
okay. So I use style as a tool to help my clients see that I can look and feel beautiful. I don't care what size you are, how much you
Yes.
weigh.
That's
Get the
right.
right color, get the right fit, wear something that's your style. These are the 3
Yes.
keys to style. Wear the right colors,
Okay.
dress the body you're in right now,
Uh-huh.
and discover what your true style is. And I actually have a free quiz on my website, the signature style.
Ooh.
You can go find out right now. It's at thevisibilitystylist.com. But go take the quiz. Take one small step. But
Yes.
I think that
Movement.
all these things are happening simultaneously. And then
Mhm.
women walk into their closet, they're like, "Oh my gosh, nothing fits, nothing feels good. I have all these clothes. I can't make an outfit." And they just get overwhelmed and they don't know where to start. So I tell them, like, do not, this is when you absolutely do not want to go out and buy new clothes.
No.
No, because you're adding fuel to the fire. Then
That's
you're gonna
it.
create more of a
That's
mess.
it. You're gonna buy the same thing because you don't know what your
Right,
color is, what your the clothes you need for the body the way your body is now.
right.
I got it. I got it.
And when
Wow.
you're shopping from that place of "I'm not enough,"
Uh-huh.
you're never gonna get what's right for you.
Oof. You are simply telling the truth. There's a myth that you said that style isn't superficial. I'm sorry, style
So
is superficial.
mhm,
You say style is who you are.
mhm.
So help them understand the difference.
I came to this conclusion a few years into my style coaching business. Fashion is what you wear, style is who you are.
Mm,
Fashion is all about what are the trends? What should I wear? What's hot this season? What's everybody else wearing? And that can feel like you're on the hamster wheel trying to keep up.
right.
Every season, gotta get a new outfit, gotta get a new wardrobe, gotta stay on trend, and, "Oh, those jeans are so out." Style is when this is what I'm passionate about, when you know who you are,
Yes.
and you don't care. I mean, it doesn't mean that you truly don't care. It just means that the trends can come and go, and you know who you are.
Oof. I love
And
it.
that I mean, from so many different levels because our style is so tied to our identity, to how we show up, to who we know ourselves to be in the world.
Mhm.
We look at an old picture of ourselves, and we're like, "Oh, yeah, I really liked myself back then," or "I really liked where I was in that phase of my life," or "I really like something about that era, that time, like who we were being." It wasn't just
Mhm.
about it may be been a great outfit, but a lot of times it's about who we were being, how we were showing up, who we had become.
Mhm.
And our style, this is what I think happens to so many women that we get to our adulthood, 20s ish, 30s ish. We kind of feel like we figure out our style. I have heard the quote from several women recently, celebrities or, women who were in the spotlight
Mhm.
who have said, I didn't even know what my style was until I was 40. Because at 40, we've got a lot of self knowledge. We know
Mhm.
who we are.
Yes.
We know what
Yes.
we like. We know what we
Mhm.
want. And then as we get a little bit older, that knowledge goes deeper. And so
Mm.
I look at midlife as the perfect time to reinvent our style. Well, let me rephrase that, to rediscover our style.
Oh,
It's
I
not
like
about
that one better. Yeah.
really about tapping in and saying, "Who am
Uh-huh.
I?" Not about trying to get back to who you used to be in your 20s.
Right.
About saying, "Who am I right now? What's the body I'm in right now? What's my lifestyle? What is
Yes.
my style? Like, what works for me at this phase of my journey?"
Mhm.
But I think so many women get stuck in, "Oh, when I was in my 30s, I had such great style. I nailed it. Let me just get back to that." Not
Mm-mm.
gonna work. Not
Mm-mm.
gonna work. Body's changed.
Yep.
You've changed.
Yep.
Lifestyle's changed. Your mind has changed.
Yes.
So I believe that when women can let go of who they used to be and fully accept and embrace who they are right now,
Yes.
that is the power. And this is where clothes become our mirror
Mhm.
because our clothes tell the world who we are.
Yes.
They also tell the world how we feel about ourselves.
Mhm.
And when we take time to put together a great outfit and find out our
Yes.
colors and put on accessories, it shows that we value ourselves
Yes. Absolutely.
and it helps us to connect to others at a deep level. So it's so much more than just clothes.
Absolutely. But, you know, I love how you are breaking this down. One of I'm all about reinvention, okay?
Mhm.
As a transformational coach, yes, transformation tells you something's going to change. So, one of my favorite questions, are you living your next chapter or your next step? And you said something beautiful when we talked. You said life moves in cycles, waves, and shifts. And you're currently in a season of reinvention. You remember telling me that?
Yes, absolutely.
Tell us about this season.
Sure. Well, I think a lot of it kind of, I mean, I feel like we're always evolving. We're always in this
Yes.
next evolution. But
Yes.
this year has been really pivotal for me. Last year, we closed our boutique and I fully stepped back into being a style coach. And there was some resistance there for a little while.
Mm,
Not gonna lie about that.
okay.
I'm not sure I want to do that. Not sure. And I'm like, okay, this is my path. So I've fully embraced it. I know what direction I feel that there's just it's like this cycle. Like, okay, we're coming around, we come back around. Like now we're on level 58. Level 58. And at this level in my life, like I know deeply who I am.
Yes.
But it's interesting because when I first launched, I was 40 when I launched my style coaching business 18
Wow.
years ago. And so being like right at that threshold of midlife was really interesting for me. And so my goals now at 58 are different than they were at 40.
Mm.
And now I'm thinking about how many more years do I want to work? Do I want to retire? What does that look like? And also stepping into some other things, becoming an author. I mean, I've written some other books in the past, but this is more of a big deal.
Yes.
Becoming an author, I've really been doing more speaking. I've been
Mhm.
more travel. I have started organizing retreats.
Woohoo!
And that is like something that I love travel. I love travel.
Me too.
And last year, I took a small group to Paris. I took 3 women with me to Paris. And it was just kind of a test, like, could I do this? Do I
Yeah.
wanna do this? And then
Yeah.
this year, I've got 7 women who are coming to Paris with me in October. And
Ooh.
I'm like, I'm just at the point where I'm a new empty nester, which, it's bittersweet. It's
Yeah, it
bittersweet.
is.
Seeing
It
the light
is.
at the end of the tunnel, and I'm thinking, "Okay, more travel."
Right.
I really want to I love to bring women together to talk about style, pleasure, beauty, enjoy
Yes.
life.
Yes.
And so I'm envisioning more retreats
Mhm.
as this book comes out, maybe a retreat
Mhm.
in France or
Ooh.
probably some retreats in the US too.
Wow.
But I I love experiences,
Mhm.
journey, just opportunities to get women together to have a beautiful dinner party or
Mhm.
brunches or things
Mhm.
like that. So this season of my life is really tapping into what do I really desire right now?
I
What
love it.
feels good? Husband and I are having a great time. We're going on a vacation, this little getaway this weekend. We're
Yeah.
having a good time together. Just he's rebuilding his career and we're just learning to enjoy each other at a different level
Mhm.
because we worked together for 10 years and it has had its ups and it had its downs.
Of course it does.
So
But
it's a new season on many levels. And as far as my style goes, you know what's interesting?
what's
I actually have a group that, so along with my book, I launched a membership. It's called the Paris Atelier, just to a small group of women who are reading my book chapters as they come out.
okay.
And one of the women has been in my community for a long time. And she reminded me of something I said years ago. And what that was is that I don't wear anything that's strapless. And I thought that was so interesting because when she reminded me of that, I had just the day before worn a strapless dress. And we had a whole conversation about that, and that's
Uh-huh.
what I've realized. I mean, the whole reason I didn't wear strapless was because I had a really bad experience with a strapless bra when I was about 15 years old, and it ended up
See? See?
but I have found the perfect strapless bra, and now I'm like, I can go dancing, I can do
Ooh.
so it's interesting and what I've really learned too, just about myself, but also what I'm teaching my clients is that there are a lot of rules that either we created ourselves or were created for us. Maybe our
Mhm.
mom told us, "Oh, you don't look good,"
Mhm.
or "You don't look good in purple."
Yeah.
That stuck with us, or "Don't wear white after Labor Day," whatever it is, and we hang on to it like it's
Mhm.
gospel. Like, we need to let that go.
Yes.
We're in the new era of style
Yes.
where it is not about following anybody's rules.
Come on. Tell it.
It's about embracing who we are,
Yes.
embodying ourselves at a deep level. This
Mhm.
isn't about copycat midlife, we're not
No.
around.
No.
We're not messing around, like, this
No.
is our time to shine,
Oh, absolutely. Oh, you
and our
speaking my language now,
style is one of the
Michelle.
best ways to do it. Yeah.
Well, I've shared with you, I'm about to embark on my next chapter.
Mm,
And I just turned 69 last Friday. And it's amazing what people wanna try to tell you when you tell them what you're about to do, okay?
yeah.
And you were just talking about that. And November 1st, I leave for a 30-day adventure to live in Arizona for 30 days.
You go, girl. I love it. I love
And
it.
and then after
Bravo.
that, I my next stop is San Antonio, Texas.
Mm.
And it was 30 days, but I had to cut it back because my 2 of my grandsons play each other on December 29th in basketball. Got to be there.
Gotta be there for that.
Gotta be there. So, but you are absolutely right. And it's what I talk about in my coaching, that the persona is what is curated from external forces. Parents, other family members, teachers, bosses, supervisors. Like you said, people want to tell us who we are to be. And that is why so many people do not know who they are.
Yes.
So absolutely keep becoming. But as much as I loved your story and all that good advice that you just gave, we're going to have a little fun right now.
Oh.
We're going to have the She Shines fire round. This is where you are spontaneous, that you tell me the first thing that pops in your mind. And are you ready, Michele?
I am ready. Let's do it.
Okay. One word that describes you today.
Bold.
Ooh, I like that one. Coffee or tea?
Both. Both.
Don't make me pick. Favorite color to wear?
Magenta.
Heels, sneakers, or boots?
Boots. Boots for sure.
Ooh.
Don't
For
have to
some
think about
reason, you
them.
just seem like these boots were made for walking.
And that's just what they'll do.
Yes, right. One item in your closet you'll never part with.
My boots. I mean, I will have this. I have a pair of boots, Karen, that, oh my gosh, I remember I was walking around somewhere and I realized I had worn the sole out.
Uh-huh.
I had them resoled.
Oh my goodness. You
I
must
will have
love those
those things
boots.
until I die.
Got it. Favorite place you've traveled?
Paris.
A woman who has inspired you.
Iris Apfel. So many. There's so many. But
Oh,
I think Iris Apfel, seeing her come into the spotlight in her 80s, 90s, and just be who she is and be all of it.
yes.
Like she's such a she was such a trailblazer in her closet. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
I would have loved to have gotten in her closet.
Oh, yeah. Well, how about this? If confidence had a wardrobe, what would everyone need in it?
If confidence
Had a wardrobe,
had a wardrobe, what
what
would
would everyone need in it?
Goodness. Well, honestly, there's no one size fits all. The pieces that make them feel like a boss, feel like a babe, feel beautiful, feel like you shine, that make you feel like you.
Yes.
And this is, I'll just interject. There is no top 10 list. There is no this is where we need to let it go and say, what's right for me is right for me. And what's
That's
right
right.
for you is right for you. And it
Yes.
doesn't have to be the same thing for everybody.
That's right. Absolutely. I love it. What makes me unforgettable is
I would have to say my presence. I love to connect with people. My husband always kids me. He's like, "Oh, you always want to go deep and you want to talk with people." But I like to know what I love to connect. Connection is one of my
yes.
values, and I love not just talking to people, but connecting.
That's it. That's
And when
it.
you have that connection, I think you do become unforgettable.
Yes.
Because it's not just surface
No.
level. It's like, "Ooh, I wanna get to know you."
Oh, and I want people to get to know you. Michele, what I love most about your story is that you have reminded us that style doesn't begin in the closet. It begins in the mirror.
Mm.
not the mirror that judges either. I did a women's conference when I used to travel with the corporate training company, and I said, when you can look yourself in the mirror completely with no clothes on and find something you like, you have completed, you've started the journey to completely understanding you.
Yes.
The mirror reminds us of who we already are, and you have shown us that our uniqueness isn't something to hide. It's exactly what makes us unforgettable. So please give our listeners, Michele, one piece of encouragement that you would love to leave with every woman who's listening today.
Well, there are two I'd love to share. The first is when you get dressed, or when you're, especially if you're shopping, stop asking the question, how do I look? Because
Ooh.
typically when we ask the question, how do I look, we're outsourcing approval. We're relying on somebody else to tell us that we're okay, that we're good, that we look great. Now, I'm just saying that sometimes you do need an external opinion, but for the most part, ask yourself this instead. How do I feel? How do I
Yes.
feel? Because, if you put something on, you're like, well, how do I look? But you're not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Tap in and say, how do I feel? Because chances are you're not going to be feeling great. You're going to know if it's right.
Wow.
And when you know it's right and you anchor into that, it's not about the clothes. It's who you become in the clothes.
There's that
And
word again, become.
that's the magic.
Oh, I like it. I like it. Wow, what an incredible conversation we have had today. And I know, and we're going to have the information in the show notes. Michele mentioned the free assessment on the website. What's that website again?
It's thevisibilitystylist.com.
Thevisibilitystylist.com. Go take that free assessment, and I'll have how you can get in contact with Michele. If today's episode has encouraged you, don't keep it to yourself. How could you? You know exactly who needs to listen to this. Share it with another woman who may have forgotten just how remarkable she already is. Your uniqueness isn't your weakness. It is your signature. And I've got to ask the question to Michele that I ask every guest. Michele, when you think of shining, what does that mean to you?
It means that you are embodying the truth of who you are,
Absolutely.
where you show up dressed as yourself from the inside out, where you've tapped into who am I on the inside and what you're wearing on the outside mirrors that. And it's like alchemy. It just becomes
Mhm.
magnetic.
Absolutely. Well, ladies, keep shining, keep growing, and never stop becoming the woman God created you to be. This is Coach KG reminding you that when your identity is rooted, your style becomes the outward expression of your inner confidence. Your next chapter begins the moment you decide to be fully seen. Until next time, let's rise, let's reclaim, and let's radiate. Keep shining. Bye-bye. Thank you, Michele.
Thank you, Karen. Bye.
Will you dim your light or let your spirit break free? You got power inside you, more than you can see. Time to realign, reclaim what's meant to be. Living in your essence is your